Hey, this is Kateryna and Sarah, and I want to share with you what I do when I have temptations around food, around my home. So I live with Sarah. I also live with my mom and dad who came from Ukraine last year, and they're living with us right now, and they are on the regular diet, and I'm on a gluten-free, dairy-free diet, sugar-free.
To be clear, they're specifically on a weight gain diet because they both have cancer, and the #1 risk for them is losing weight. So they're like, we can't even say a regular diet. They're literally, their doctors are like, they need to do whatever it takes to gain weight. So the whole keto, paleo conversation does not apply to them right now. I know that if you're watching this, you're like, they should be on a certain diet. We get it. We just don't have the resources right now, and so they're just like eating a lot of carbs, and they need to get their weight back like hardcore.
Right, and so what's happening is there's like all these temptations around me, like, you know, cookies, like bread,
croissants. awesome carbs.
Yeah, and I trained over the years, so I've been on this diet, on my diet for probably the last 6 years, 5.5 for sure, and I trained myself not to basically get emotionally affected by that food. What I do right now, just really quickly, I've noticed that I just automatically started to do that throughout the years, is just kind of like image swapping. So there is a croissant, and then I swap it with my worst fear, and my worst fear is end up in a wheelchair. And that to me is like the thing that I put in front of me every time when I see temptation. Like, it's either that or that. And maybe it's not that extreme, but I don't care. Like, this is what keeps me in line. And there's another thing, it's kind of like counterintuitive and maybe sounds a little sadistic for some people. But what I like to do is, like, if I get tempted by like bread or croissant, I just come and I smell it, right? And I really put my, like, it makes me feel so good to break down the ingredients that I think this thing has based on the smell. So I smell all the butter in there, all the gluten, you know, I smell like the spices, the sugar, that, like, you know, all the things that I used to love and missed. But once I do that, it just kind of like goes through my brain and I can set it aside. And I know it might not work for 99% of you, but it works for me. So swapping the imagery, smelling the thing, and then setting it aside. And of course, you know, it helps to just not even have those temptations. So if like you have a cabinet where you can just put it and like ask your, you know, environment, like your family, to keep it there, that would be better, because it takes a lot of willpower to resist that, and you need all the willpower you can have during the day to exercise, to relax, to breathe in, to, you know, whatever you are doing, you need that willpower. So don't use that on like just resisting the foods if you can just put it away.
Exactly. That's a really great point, that like, you know, you're looking, the conversation you're in, if you have like a like autoimmune condition, the conversation you're in is modifying your behavior a lot. You know, like all the lifestyle stuff is up for grabs, and so all of that requires an insane amount of willpower. And if you're just dealing with like stuff around the house that you can't eat that's really tempting for you, that's just going to destroy your willpower. And so like literally, if you can't stop them from eating that stuff, have them just put it away. Don't have it leaving out. Maybe eat your meals at a different time. I mean, all this stuff, like really doing whatever it takes so you're not being exposed to that is critical. I mean, best case, like for us, you know, when we started, we just threw everything away, and we were just not, like, I stopped drinking beer for, it was like a year, just because it was too tempting for her. She just couldn't look at it. And so it was like, okay, it's gone. It wasn't even a debate for me. But now with her parents here, you know, we have all this crazy food lying around. So it's different, but she's developed that resilience now at this point.
Yeah. And I wanted to say something else, and I forgot something that was important.
Great. Well, that's awesome to hear. I'm sure it was amazing. I'm sure it was literally the most important thing you would ever hear your entire life, whoever's watching this. So that's a bummer.
Thanks for buying me 10 minutes. It's still
basically
10 seconds.
the opposite of what you want to do for a vlog post, is be like, I was going to tell you this amazing thing that was going to change your life, and I have no idea what it is. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hit subscribe, and you'll probably see that cool thing in the next video when Kateryna remembers it. All right, take care. Bye.